Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the case may be, wherever you're tuning in from. Let us know. I always like to know where you're tuning in from. It may be cold and it may be freezing outside, but things are definitely hotting up and warming up over at Anfield and the home of these Reds. And we're here to talk about it. Liverpool, top of the table. Liverpool, top of the Champions League tables. Liverpool playing the best team in Spain. Liverpool playing the current champions on the weekend of the Premier League. It's a time to be excited. It's a time to talk about Liverpool. And it's time to bring in the Red Fellas to talk about it all. And not only that, just when we think everything is smooth sailing, transition from clock to slot to top of the table, the contract scenario hasn't been dealt with. And today, Mohamed Salah, well, actually, last night, Mohamed Salah decided to speak up. And we will speak up and give our opinions on it. Of course, joining me, I have some of the usual faces. I'm not going to introduce them one by one. We really haven't got time. So, Mohammed, Cav, and Keith, hi, just hi, and all good. We have someone making their debut, much awaited debut. It's been a long time. Please, everyone, hit the like button for Zaman the magician. He is actually a magician by trade, but he's a massive Liverpool fan and we've known each other for ages, but it's good to actually get on screen and talk about Liverpool. It's amazing. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you? Nice to be on. Nice to meet all the lads. And we got a lot to talk about. And but yeah, what a great time to be a Red, to be honest.
It is. It's absolutely what a great time to be ready. Hit the likes, people. Smash the like, hit the like, tap the like, do what you want, but make sure you do it before we get into it all. I guess I don't know where to start, Cav. I don't know. I need your guidance and expertise in this kind of situation as well, because what we should be talking about is these mighty Reds at the top of the table, 8 points clear of Man City, potentially 11 points clear of this Man City. Yet, all over social media and all over Twitter and Facebook and Instagram or wherever you want to go, Sky Sports, Jamie Carragher's just come out and said something. It's the Mohamed Salah situation. Shall we play the video, guys? And then we take it from there. Let's play the video, what he's come out and said. And hold on, how do I find this without getting done? There we go. 1 second. Right. I should be able to do this now. All right. Can we see that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
What's the latest you can tell us on that? Well, we almost in December. I haven't received any offer to stay yet in the club, so probably I'm more out than in. So,
would you like to stay up?
Well, I've been in the club for many years. No club like this, but in the end, it's not in my hands. So, as I said before, it's December, so I haven't received anything yet about my future. So
it feels like the fans would love you to stay, though, in the reaction today.
I love the fans. The fans love me, but in the end, it's not in my hand; it's the fans' hand. So, yeah, let's wait and see.
How do you feel about the fact there hasn't been an offer? Then does that disappoint you?
Of course, yeah.
And so what? Have you spoken to the club about why there hasn't been an offer?
Well, I'm not gonna go and say I'm not gonna retire soon. So I'm just playing I'm focused in the season, and I'm trying to win the Premier League or hopefully the Champions League as well. But yeah, it's a disappointed, but we'll see.
And the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk about Saudi Arabia and you potentially moving over there. But you don't look like.
I don't want to speak about that. I'm focused with the team now, and we'll see at the end of the season.
Do you feel as if, because obviously you'll be 33 next year, but do you feel as if you can go on at the highest level like Messi and Ronaldo into your late 30s?
As you see, I'm very professional. Everybody see my work ethic, so I'm just trying to enjoy my football, and I will play at top level as long as possible, for sure. Me and this man.
So. It feels like you're doing all your best to be at your best for those talks, those contract talks.
I'm just doing my best because this is who I am, and I'm trying to give it all for myself and for the club. So we'll see what happens next.
Who wants to go first? Who has got the strongest opinion or has based a strong opinion about what we've just heard and encountered? Go for it. Whoever wants to go first. Reactions.
Come on, Keith. You're usually a bit. Look, it's itching. It's itching for a
Well,
while.
get off
Today.
mute. That would help.
The shit,
Unmute
I
yourself.
just burst out laughing. This is funny, isn't it? Like what he's
Go
doing.
on.
Look, at the end of the day, you can see he's grinning to himself. So you can see that there is obviously conversations going on, but technically there is not an offer on the table. So while there's not an offer on the table, as far as he's concerned, he's like, well, if there's not an offer on the table, I can speak literally and at the same time put more pressure on the club to kind of give us what I want. Because let's be very frank, there has not been a single rumor suggesting that Mohamed Salah is going to any other football club. Therefore, his agents are not speaking to any other. He's not being touted. He's not being sold on the market. There's no links. There's no connection. So clearly, this is for me. This is tactics. This is a debate. Not debate tactics. Sorry, this is a negotiation tactic. He's playing there. He's smiling. He's got a bit of a glint in his eye. He's clearly asked for something. They've clearly asked for something, but the club haven't come back and said yes or no. This is my opinion.
Mohammed, your opinion when you saw that, or if you haven't seen that now that you have seen that. So let's give a bit of context behind it. So I've had absolute pleasure of being in the mix zone. So the mix zone is when the players they get changed and they're about to get on the bus. But just before they get on the bus, there's like a little patch where they go past journalists, and the journalists, what they do is they call out their names, and potluck, if someone wants to come over and talk to them, they talk to them. Otherwise, they say, no, thanks. Mohamed Salah, in his 7-8 years, has only come out 3 times and spoken. And so therefore, it's an absolute rarity. I actually I gave him salam. I got a walaikum salam. And when I was in USN, I said, Mohammed, can I? And he said, next time. So I got a next time.
You got a promise.
I got a promise, right? but this time, the story is not the story. The actual facts are that they didn't even ask him this time, guys. So normally they say Mohammed, and he always says next time, but they say never. He never comes. This time they say he kind of looked for them. It was pretty much, I was going to say almost, I'd say pretty much pre-planned. After knowing the context behind it, Mohammed, what's your initial reaction, thoughts?
My initial reaction and thoughts on that clip, as soon as I seen it as well, is what was the point? Why did he have to do it? Because we're sat here right now talking about Salah's contract when we should be talking about the fact that we're 8 points top of the Premier League and we're about to play Real Madrid, top of the Champions League's new format. We shouldn't be sat here talking about Mo Salah. 100% Mo Salah's contract right now should be sorted. Virgil's contract should be sorted. Trent's contract should be sorted. FSG and the board, I don't know what they're doing and I don't know what games they're playing, but it's actually starting to piss me off at the moment. I have been FSG's biggest backer for so many years. I have been their biggest backer, their biggest supporter, because I've seen my team in the deepest of despairs back in the day with Hicks and Gillette, and they've saved us from those sorrows and those miseries. But right now, what's going on is just like we don't have a clue. We're usually, like most clubs across the world, even see Liverpool Football Club as one of the best run clubs in the whole entire world. But right now, does it look like we're the best run club in the world with these 3 contracts of our 3 star players, our 3 best players still looming? Like, what's going on? And it's actually pissing me off because we were talking about this in the summer. And I was like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why has nothing been signed? Where's the contracts? I understand Mohamed Salah, where he's coming from. He's frustrated. He maybe wants to, like, it's a negotiation tactic, as Keith said. He wants to push the club to say, look, the fans are all supporting me. They really want me to sign a contract. Put the word out there, creates a little bit of, drama, a couple of headlines. But does that actually speed up the negotiation? I don't think so, because these are professionals. These are businessmen. I'm not sure that's going to speed up the discussions that they're having. And one thing in that interview, when they mentioned Saudi, and he laughed it off. If he was to leave Liverpool, and I can see this guy playing for the next 3-4 years. We're looking at Lewandowski right now in Barcelona, ripping it up. At the age of 36, I think he is, or 35. Mo Salah is more than capable to do that for the next couple of years. He's not going to go Saudi next summer if his contract expires. He's going to end up going to a Barcelona, a Real Madrid, a PSG, or someone within the Prem. I would hate that. Like, I would feel so sick to the core. I don't know what's going on. The thing is, why is nothing ever simple with this club?
This is it.
Perfect. On the pitch, it's perfect. We're playing great football. Okay, good football. We're top of the league by 8 points. So we're about to play Manchester City. We could go 11 points clear, and we're top of the Champions League. But we've got this dark cloud looming over our heads. Why is nothing ever simple?
Cav, with regards to everything simple, and Mohammed makes. So I thought Mohammed was going to start off by saying Salah was wrong or the timing, but he's obviously he's obviously sharing the frustration of Salah coming out now, and also why haven't FSG sorted it out? I mean, obviously it's a combination of things, and we've discussed it. By the way, Surge, big up Grizz on the panel. Hit the like button and subscribe, people. That's from Aguna, 6 a.m. in Australia, and we must be here. Love for the love. Big up Surge every time, my bro. Big up yourself. Cav, where are you at with this situation? Obviously, it's not split. I think it's quite unified in Team Salah in terms of social media and getting everyone online. But have you any concerns about the timing of it? And do you blame him for the timing of it? And is he wrong? Is he right? Where are you at? Give us your thoughts on that.
I think he's playing an absolute blinder, to be honest with you. I think he is doing everything possible on and off the pitch to strengthen his position without going too far that he can be criticised. I think he's obviously in great form. Performances are matching the output. He's got his celebration, which he keeps repeating. He's took his shirt off now. He's doing everything to attract the attention, right? He's in good form. He's contributing massively to the position we're currently in. So he's in the strongest possible position you can be in as a player that's going into a contract negotiation, because you are doing everything that the job requires you to do. He's not saying too much to upset Liverpool fans, but he's coming out. And I think what he's doing when he speaks is he's almost speaking with an air of confidence, because he knows he's the guy, and he's cementing. In this interview, for me, he's cementing his status. I think what he's doing is he's speaking enough to say, look, it's out of my hands. I'm doing everything I can. I don't need to tell you what I'm doing on the pitch, because you can see it for yourself. I don't need to tell you what my performances give you, because just look at the league tables, right? I'm not being offered anything. If I don't get offered anything that's good enough, right? It's not that he won't be offered anything. He will be offered something. Whether it's good enough for him to stay, we don't know. But if he says it's not good enough for me to stay, effectively, he will say, look, I walked away. I love you fans. You fans love me. I delivered for 8 or 9 years. I walked away at the highest point. I had to walk away because I had no contract there. What do you want me to do? And every Liverpool fan will just turn on FSG and go, what the hell was, even though their reasons may be justified, and we will find out in the fullness of time, but he's cementing that legendary status, because he's got to leave the club at some point. But if he leaves off his own accord, there might be some fans that just are like, oh, he's going to a different club, or he's retired, or he fell off, or anything. There's no conversation. He leaves because he's not offered a contract on red hot form. He cements that thing. And I think a lot of top players have incredible careers, but the last year or the last 2 years at their big clubs, it almost taints their careers a little bit. You know, you could probably look at like Casemiro at United, an incredible player, but all we kind of remember him for is what he did last year. And bit Salah's not going to have that. He's doing everything possible to cement his status. And I just think he speaks like a man that knows his worth. And it's on the club. I totally agree. It should have been sorted. The reason I'm not pulling my hair out as much as I would have been in the past is he has an agent that's usually quite outspoken, and he's not been. It's almost been a little bit too quiet.
Surely this was absolutely instigated by Rami Abbas. This wasn't Mohamed Salah talking. I think this was Rami Abbas.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
You
find it hard to believe that they'll just do nothing. With his tweets and stuff in the past, like they'll be itching to get some noises out. So obviously they've picked a different way to do it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Judging by the way Rami tweets, he must have been bored. He's been bored for a while, so clearly he was. I mean, it's sitting there in restaurants just observing people and tweeting about them. So clearly Rami Abbas has been bored. So I wouldn't be surprised if he launched the rocket out.
Rami, he was going to come in.
I was going to say, not the first time Salah's done this season. After we smashed United 3-0 at Old Trafford, he came out and he talked about his contract again. He keeps on, like, what's happening? Like, if it never went, why is he doing it again? We've got a big game against Real Madrid and City. That should be the focus. Why? I just don't understand the timing.
Zaman, what's your thoughts on it? First time we're going to hear your thoughts on this situation. Mohamed Salah, obviously an absolute legend, the greatest attacker, the Premier League, top 3 attackers of the Premier League era, in my opinion. loyal servant to Liverpool. Let's not forget the loyalty aspect, because he has been offered huge amounts of money before in the past, and but he's remained loyal. He now comes to the twilight of his career, the last contract, the major contract. And like Cav says, he's doing everything anyone that's looking for a deal. Like, in any form of business, right? When there's negotiations taking place, if you play your cards right, you usually get what you want. How are you feeling, and what do you think about this whole outburst statement that he made yesterday, interview?
I mean, look, it is a crazy situation that we find ourselves in. And yeah, I see what you did there about playing cards right. But I think Cav's 100% right. I think Salah is literally looking at the club and in a kind of tactical way and just giving them a kick up the backside again. He's obviously done it a few times in terms of, with the previous news that we've had, small little contract talks, haven't heard anything. But he's now obviously played this, and as you said, Rami might have had a little hand to this, probably. He's obviously played this card and gone and spoke to the media, and just to kick the club up the backside. And you're right, Salah's on my Mount Rushmore. Like for me personally, as a fan, he's on my Mount Rushmore of players. And obviously that's going to be different depending on the era that that you've grown up and watched in. But Salah is. You look at what he's doing and in his age, and the fact that he's doing it in, the best league in the world, and he's doing it in such a way that he's top of the boards in the best league in the world, and comparing him to, as in the question, I think it was James Pierce sound like, Ronaldo, Messi, he was, being compared to. It's like, this man can and probably will hit those heights. But we just hope now that it's with us. And FSG do need to, and whoever's handling these contract negotiations, they need to really realize that he is our most prized asset, as well as Van Dijk and, Alisson. And I know those contract situations are there. But I think with Salah, we have to look at and see what he's done for the club. And I think this interview itself is another kick towards the club and another rocket fired towards them, saying, look, I'm desperate to stay. You see when Van Dijk walked in the back and instantly, as soon as he turned, realized who it was, big smile on his face. He wants to be there. And he said, and hopefully this guy stays too.
Yeah, the body language, guys, it's true though. I mean, I don't want us to suddenly turn into body language experts, right, and everything, but it didn't seem like aggy, did it? It didn't seem like problematic. It didn't seem like there was tensions as such. Mohammed, we've all said, I'll come to you actually, Keith. We've all spoken from Mohamed Salah's point of view, and we are all team Mohamed Salah because we want him to sign and we want him to stay. Keith, is there anything that you can give us from the FSG perspective? And okay, let's not say FSG, because from Edwards and Hughes's perspective, right? How do you see it from their perspective? Because we know they have a policy, or Edwards most certainly did have a policy of not giving long-term contracts to players over 30. I believe he was overruled in terms of Henderson and Milner, and therefore left the club. But now he's back, and now he's been putting into a similar situation now. The only difference is this ain't no Jordan Henderson. With the utmost respect to Jordan Henderson, this is Mohamed Salah. Do you see anything from the FSG point of view, like they need to think about the safeguarding of the club, the future of the club? What do? You're on mute.
Come on, Keith. We've done this for a minute now.
I just minimized my thing and I started swearing. Good thing I had that muted. Yeah. You only have to look as far as Barcelona to see the example of when a club gives their top player who scores loads of goals and assists anything and everything he wants, to the point of outbalancing the books. And I 100% believe that FSG do look at examples like what happened with Barcelona and Messi and are a bit more tense to want to give a player that's 32, going into the twilight of his career. I mean, not twilight, I'm sure he's going to have a lot of years left.
No, but he is going to, let's be real.
He's not in his prime for in that respect. So you can understand it from them. Do they want to continue to make Mohamed Salah the highest paid player at the club? for all we know, this is his last big numbers, and next season, and then next season, the season after, does he fade off and he's still earning big wages? Where FSG would have probably liked to have been, and they are not, as they would have liked to have moneyballed the situation to have found someone similar to Mohamed Salah's output by now, and they failed to do so. They tried to get Harvey Elliott, didn't quite work on that right-hand side. They brought in Chiesa, unfit, can't play a game of football. So whereas before maybe FSG would have seen it as, well, we can kind of just let this person go because the next person's on the way, like we saw with Emre Can, like we saw with Jordan Henderson, like we saw with Wijnaldum. You know, there are other players that were kind of, you know, they could blood in and we could slowly forget about them. Mohamed Salah, you can't, because even if you were to pay him the money that he wants or to keep with the same deal, I think it racks up to about 54 million quid over 3 years. For 54 million pounds, where are you going to find a Salah output at this stage? Who's going to do what Salah's doing at this stage? The assists and the goals. And the best thing that Salah's did, which has really made it complicated for FSG, is he's evolved over the last couple of years from a goal scorer to a creator. And now he's a creator. He's just added 5, 6, 7 years onto his lifespan as a top footballer. And now, if you don't notice, even against Southampton, we'll talk about it, but we also saw it in the training as well. Slot's almost now looking to him to be the creative force from wide, not Trent Alexander-Arnold, as used to be the case. So Salah's played himself into a situation, but from an FSG perspective, they have to see it as, is this all just for the now? In 3 years' time, are we still going to get the same Salah that we gave £500,000 a year to? And again, there's clubs a week. Yeah, talking about footballers. And is that going to be a risk? Does he finally succumb to the injury of all injuries? Does, you know what I mean? Can they find someone that, you know, can the rest of the forwards pick up the slack should Mohamed Salah go? So yeah, from an FSG perspective, I'm looking at that. And this is something else we have to consider. As I said, poor planning from the club, disgraceful. 3 of your top earners, number 1, number 2, and number 3, are all negotiating right now. And I've said this to you, Grizz, before. Who does FSG choose as the number 1 now?
Well, this is what I was going to come to, Mohamed. You've actually segued into the final part of this before we get into the game. Like, tactically, there is games going on, and it's quite apparent to see that each one of these people in their own right, like Virgil van Dijk is talking about, I'm the captain of the club. Mohamed Salah is saying, I'm the talisman and the superstar of this club. Trent is saying, I'm the future and the local star of this club. Who gets the most money? Should it be like Mohamed? What do you think? Like, how do FSG deal with this? Like, if you are Edwards and Hughes, how do you resolve this? And it's got to be done like yesterday.
I know, and that's why it's so complicated. Like, as you just broke it down, that's our 3-star players. Who gets the most? Who gets the least? Like, they're obviously going to all have conversations with each other. The agents are going to have conversations with each other. They're going to be hearing out what Virgil's being offered, what Trent's being offered, what Salah's being offered, not just in terms of money, but in terms of lengths of contract for Virgil and for Mo. That's where it just goes back down to how bad planning it has been. Like, we're meant to be one of the best run clubs, but the planning has just been diabolical. Obviously, Michael Edwards left, I think it was 2022, and there's Jörg Schmadtke came in and he was only short term, and obviously with Jurgen Klopp leaving last summer, there's been a lot of change within the club, and obviously Michael Edwards returning this summer. But even still, it's like, how have we got ourselves in this predicament whereby all 3 of them, I don't know how you...
They have. I genuinely think, guys, all 3 of them have FSG over a barrel. And I don't think FSG can get out of this.
But that's the thing. FSG have got that strict policy of the wage structure. So
I don't think they have anymore.
Do you think
they can't? No, I'm not. As in, they can't.
Yeah, if they give them these contracts, that wage structure is blown. So let's say, for hypothetical speaking, a year's time, Mo Salah form just drops. We can still easily sell him. The money in Saudi is always going to be there. we could easily just sell him to 100 million to Saudi if we want to next summer.
This is what Leighton says, because Saudi League also changed the equation a bit because they've shown they're willing to sign older players. So if there is a drop, unlikely, Saudi will always be interested in someone like Salah or VVD.
He's their poster boy, isn't he? Let's be honest. Like he's what they have been chasing for such a long time. He's their poster boy. They'll pay out of pocket. They'll just throw money at it. But sorry, just to say about it, I would just say that it's the biggest fumble if we don't fix this. It's the biggest fumble.
Which one? Which one is the biggest fumble?
All three. But these are some of the best players we have seen in the modern era. You know, so why are we not looking at it saying, look, if we don't fix this, you're right. There's no replacements. There is no replacements for Salah, especially. He's the top, I think. Alisson. Okay, you know, you kind of maybe looking at Mohamed Ashvili that we've signed, and that you find but Van Dijk again, you know, the dominance that he's shown over the years, you know, can you put? I mean, Kanate is playing really well, but then you know, and then obviously I know you've got the youngers like Kwanzaa, but you can't replace him either, really.
I disagree there, Sam. I'll be honest, I love Mo Salah, but I've watched this club for many years. I always thought when we got rid of Torres, I remember I was in tears crying. Let's get him over. Suarez comes in. The window. Suarez left. I thought, oh my God, here we go again. We're never going to recover. Coutinho comes in, Mane comes in, Salah comes in, Gerrard left. I'm thinking, oh, we're never going to recover. Jurgen Klopp comes in, when we win a trophy, we win a Champions League. There's always going to be someone. So let me just land on one point that I was going to make in regards to the question Grizz asked them in regards to how much you should offer and the wage structure. So say next year, Salah form just absolutely drops and he's awful and he just can't hit a barn door and he's terrible.
Fabinho.
Yeah, and he is just awful. But then we've offered him, like, he's earning, let's say, 500k a week. But now on the flip, Luis Diaz has turned into prime Messi. And this guy is bagging goals for fun, playing the greatest football you've ever seen. But Luis Diaz is only on like 120k. Is he then going to go and knock on, I think he's turning 28 or 29 next summer. Is he then going to knock on FSG's though and say, look at the numbers I'm putting up, look at the assists, look at my performances. I want the same money as the guy who's holding bench. Let's say Mo Salah's holding bench, or the guy, Mo Salah, who's not performing. I want that same type of money. So that's the predicament FSG in. If they give them this kind of contract, or not just Salah, but with like Verge and with Trent, for example, that's the possibility. But in terms of, I would offer Salah the contract. I would offer him 2 years. In terms of the money, I don't know. It's difficult, honestly.
I've got a question for everyone on here. Yeah, there is another scenario that you could think about that is of consideration. You get the best and last year out of all three of them. You let them go, and you let Arne Slot go into the new era with a completely brand new Liverpool football club.
Are you mad?
I want that Salah legacy because honestly,
and you'd like to think the money they would have invested in these players gets reinvested back into the squad under Arne Slot. Because to be fair, I mean, I know it's been a great start, but it's a start, and Slot's still learning about these players. He's still getting his style across. I'm sure he wants to keep them all, but this is business. And like you said, Keith, if we think that the outlay for each player over the next 2-3 years is 50 million each, they may just look at it in a 3-year period under Arne Slot and go, I tell you what, let's let all these guys go. Let's take a bit of a hit for a season or two. And as long as we get back in the top 4, I'll reinvest that 150 million across 3 seasons in your transfer kitty, and you rebuild us for not only 3 years, but for the next 10. That and that won't be an unusual FSG move, to be honest.
Cav, that has been mooted, right? And that FSG would, like, I think that kind of thing would run through FSG's mind, right? Especially Edwards, because now he's been given the power to do whatever he wants. People keep saying, get Henry out of the club, get Werner. It's got nothing to do with John Henry and Werner, right? This is all on Edwards now. He is running football operations. He decides what happens. Now, what does he do then? We need to come to a decision here, guys. And obviously, let's just give our opinions to end the situation, because you're right. Let's just say it's an outlay of $1 million a week, all three of them, right? Well, you know, just over 300 a week, right? Actually, a bit more than $1 million a week, right? Let's say all of them get Salah and Virgil get a 2-year deal,
+1,
and Salah and Trent gets a 5-year deal, right? I'm with Mohammed. I don't know where you get that kind of output and performance for three of those type of level of players. I don't know how you replace them. I think Keith's idea of not Keith's idea, but Keith's suggestion that FSG are probably thinking we need to rebuild. Let's let them run the contract down, because we're not afraid of running contracts down, right? We've got proof of doing it, evidence of doing it in the past.
Big time.
Reinvesting. I don't think we're in a position to do that. And I think one of the reasons why is because Klopp's not there. I genuinely think Klopp was there. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, to lean on. Like, Klopp was there, sort of look at the cloak. He was their cloak.
Yeah.
Everything would happen. Like, Klopp would not criticize the ownership. Klopp wouldn't come for FSG. Klopp wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm in a predicament here." You know, I don't think without Klopp, I think FSG are on a hiding to nothing, guys. They need to resolve this, guys. I think they have to. I don't think they can get away with this either way, guys. I don't know what you guys think. How do they get away with it?
Liverpool win the Premier League. That's how they get away with it.
No, still not.
Liverpool win the league, and the three go off into the sunshine. That's how they get away with it.
Hide behind that, though. You cannot hide behind that.
Hide behind that.
It's not. Look, we are a world-class club. We are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Why are we settling for not giving three of our best players and then a fourth?
Legends, all three legends of the club.
Like, why are we not giving them what they want in this day and age, in the current climate?
Yeah, within context, within, yeah, not yeah. So the thing often muted is give them what they want. I don't think any of us are saying give them what they want, right? Or is there someone that's saying give them what they want?
No,
it's with an asterisk. We know what it means, but we're not saying, oh yeah, just we know what it means. We know there's the consideration from the financial side, wage. We know that, but there has to be some flexibility because who we're dealing with and who we're talking about here.
Yeah. Just on the other side of things, just very quickly, from the footballing perspective, right? Let's say all three of them move on because they don't agree a deal. The three guys that are coming in, if we sign three guys, whoever it is that steps into their shoes, they're under immense pressure. Can you imagine the right winger next season for Liverpool, especially if we've won a league title? We're instantly going to go, look, we can't expect Mo Salah output. Soon as we can't start scoring, of course we're going to look at it and interrogate, and we're going to come back to this decision that's made.
We can't even do the transition season. I don't think the ownership or the management will be allowed. If we win the league and we let them go, I think we have to sustain winning to justify that. And can we really see us sustaining?
It puts so much pressure on that next signing, Grizz.
I genuinely don't think. Even if one of them leaves, okay, let's assume. I think safe to assume Virgil, right, is, will stay. Yeah. Let's look at the other two scenarios, right? The other three scenarios, and you tell me. Be honest. Give me your reaction one by one. So, Mohammed, I'm going to give you the scenario. Virgil stays. The other two are sold. Uproar.
Salah's responsible for 67% of our goals this season.
He's having it.
The guy, I honestly believe if he signs a contract and we win, if he wins 2 more Premier Leagues, he is the best player of the Premier League history.
Oh, yeah.
He clears Thierry Henry, clears Wayne Rooney, clears the lot, in my opinion. With Trent, I think he's gone. Personally, I've already made my bet with that. I think he's definitely gone. But if I had to pick one of the two, I'm choosing the person who's contributing 67% of our goals in the league in the season when we're 8 points top of the league. That's who I'm picking. Mm-hmm. And Trent is replaceable. So, like, if you think about it, this season, in terms of Trent's numbers when he has played, I don't think he's got many assists. Defensively, he's looked excellent. Yeah. But if the role for Arne Slot for a right back and his fullbacks are defensive fullbacks, then we could quite easily go out and sign a much better defensive fullback than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent is a good defender, but he's not the greatest defender in the world, like defensively. So if that's what Arne Slot wants at right back, is a very solid right back, like Ivanovic, that he just can't get past. He's just a brick wall. That's not Trent. Maybe we can go and sign that. But no, I think go to the transfer market tomorrow and get 67% of our goals. It's impossible.
I think we're going to end it with this. I genuinely think, guys, it's decision time, and I think it's either announcement. Well, I think it's definitely announcement times. Whether it's announcing the contracts or whether announcing no contracts. I've tweeted and I've indicated that I believe the ownership are in the country, the big dogs, the people that really make the calls, and I think they want answers, and I think they want decisions to be made in the next 10 days. So I don't think there's any more time to, because it's
this side of the year.
No, but you know why, guys? It's not counterproductive. Like we just discussed in the opening 35 minutes. We haven't even discussed the mighty Reds.
Before we go on to football, can I just say one more thing? In terms of our sponsorships and all our deals, if our 3 big stars leave, doesn't that adversely affect the business as well? Just putting it out there. If
It's a good point.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point because
what's Adidas who are standing next season? The money that Adidas are offering us for next season includes Mo Salah, big name brand, Virgil, big name brand, Trent, big name brand, who's got the
great point
with the Predators on. If all 3 of them leave, adversely does that not affect the business? And do not we? This just opens a can of worms. These contracts need to be sorted. Like
it's an unknown, isn't it? It's an unknown. You have no idea the ramifications of them leaving. We know what it means for us as output on the pitch. We know that Salah clearly.
But from a business point of view as well, you're saying.
From a business point of view, some of us will have a guess and see, and some of us, who might know a little bit more, will see maybe the business side of things. But then also, it's 2 things that are being affected, and we know how this one's going to end, and we don't know how this one's going to end, but we can predict where it's going to go. So I agree with that point. I'll be honest.
I think
Cody's better looking than Trent anyway, man. Give him the Predator deal.
Can we just make it? Can we just get clear, please? Because Keith, you appear on Talk Sport, and that's an absolute toxic radio station that's got. So we want to know if this affected your thinking. Can we get your opinion on what you would do if final word goes to you? You are Edwards and Hughes. What do you do now in the next 10 days?
So I don't give Salah what he wants. We come to a compromise.
Okay, yeah.
You
keep him though.
Compromise, yeah. Move heaven and earth to keep Virgil van Dijk. And I obviously think that Trent Alexander-Arnold, we continue to keep him as the 3rd highest paid player in the club. And if he wants to be higher than the 3rd, then I think he's the one that's replaceable.
There you guys have it. Interesting.
Oh, that killed me. Wait,
hold on. What's happening with Ali? What are you doing about that, Keith?
Ali can go, you know what? Ali can go to Saudi Arabia and he can go chill with his boys and he can have a good time and just earn a ridiculous amount of money. Because an interesting fact, this is very random, but there are a lot of Brazilians in the Middle East. A lot of people
love that life, yeah.
They got the jiu-jitsu. They get the jiu-jitsu to train the armies and the police force and stuff like that. So there's thousands of Brazilians. So you know what, Ali can go over there. Hopefully, let him do his thing. I think Ali's time is done.
Fair enough. We'll talk about Ali later. There's plenty of chance to talk about Ali. We must get onto the football, man. We have just gone 8 points clear with a typical Cav. After international type performance, it wasn't pretty. The weather conditions weren't conducive to good football. It was very windy, let me tell you. I had to hold on to my hat at all times. It was blustery, it was cold. I think Southampton played into our... I think we were lucky. I know everyone keeps saying who will be playing, but I think we were lucky we were playing Southampton. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah. Straight after international break, Southampton, bottom of the league, are there, and justifiably so, because they try play a brand of football, which is, fair play to them, try to play out from the back and this and that, but that's going to get you relegated. That's going to get you absolutely hammered by any team that is capable of pressing with a little bit of intelligence. It's probably the best side, I agree, that we could have come back and played. And I tell you what, we'll talk about the goals and the game overall and our thoughts. But one thing that stood out to me in the first half was I was like, it could be the fact we've had an international break. It could. I don't think contract situation is affecting our game at all. If anything, it's making Salah better. But Arne Slot's going to learn something about Liverpool, and it's a very strange thing. And I'm sure every fan thinks it about their team. But for whatever reason, although we should turn up and just have an easy day at the office and win, Liverpool just don't turn up for whatever reason. For whatever reason, you don't know. We've all seen it before. Under Klopp, we've watched performances where we're like, we just don't look like we're going to score here. What happened to the team we just watched 3 days ago? You know what? And we're coming up with excuses. There are none. For some reason, for whatever reason, the motivation, the attitude just isn't quite right. And that's certainly how we started the game for me. It should have been easy. It looked easy. Southampton maybe had one or two players that could wriggle out of a situation, but overall they're not good. And we should have just made light work of it. And we didn't. We ended up having a really tricky fixture in the end.
Keith, it was a tricky fixture. We actually take the lead, and normally when we take the lead, we've been talking about how we've controlled proceedings after we take the lead. We're so much more structured and everything else. What was wrong this time round? Was there anything in the selection that you didn't like? What is it then? What like there must be something to it. Like Cavs just said, like we are what we are after the international break, and even Slot didn't know the answers to it, and many other managers before that. But he rests the South American lads. Right, McAllister, Diaz don't start.
He learned, by the way, that decision.
Absolutely, he's been learning. Yeah. But I mean, for me, he's right. Southampton aren't good.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, it always fascinates me when I watch games sometimes for Liverpool, because I can watch players do incredible things. Virgil van Dijk spraying the passing, running back, defending, headering, like some incredible moments. You think to yourself, "Wow, man, this guy's the greatest defender in the world." And then I can watch Virgil van Dijk try and dribble, which he never does, try to do a Joel Matip to run through the middle of the Southampton defense. I can also watch Virgil van Dijk in a situation where Tyler Dibbling has the ball at the corner flag and everyone's just chilling, jogging, nothing. By the time Tyler Dibbling spins on that ball and plays the pass across to Adam Armstrong, all of a sudden, Virgil is sprinting, but it's too late. He should have been sprinting back when Tyler Dibbling already had the ball. My point is, I think it was individual errors and it was individual stupidity and this kind of just brain fart moment from key players. And Van Dijk, I'm going to have to point the finger at you for both of those goals, because if he had started running back when he was supposed to, he would have been in position. He would have stopped Fernandes scoring that goal, but he wasn't, because he was just, I don't know what happens sometimes. They play.
It's arrogance, Keith.
It's arrogance.
Do you think it is? Because that's gonna be what people label it as, I think.
There was an arrogance to the way that we've been praising them a lot for like being, tracking back hard and working hard and winning your 50-50s and your duels. I've never seen that kid that we played in midfield for Southampton, tall 7-foot geezer, right? How's my man doing no-look passes, pirouettes? I'm just watching it. I've never seen that before in my life. My man does the no-look pass after bypassing three of our players through the press. This, for me, was a case of individual brain fart moments and a team that didn't really go out there and respect Southampton. And they're just lucky, really, that we have the cutting edge on our team, because with all due respect, we had a lot of chances, but our general play in that game was, we should have killed Southampton. It should have been 5. It should have been 6. They are not good. Even when the other thing I was going to say, just one more thing, was the fact that we pressed higher than we usually do and we were more aggressive because we wanted to stop them playing football. Great, but they were able to bypass the press because our press was half-hearted. And then all of a sudden, we were seeing scenarios that we saw last season when teams would counter us when pass through us, and all of a sudden they're in a transition, they're 3v3. That was just because of arrogance. The players just did not execute the plan and didn't play the football that we know we should get. So it's all 11. And I know it's windy because it's fucking windy in the south on Sunday, but that was no excuse for that.
Mohammed, is there any individuals that worried you? So obviously the debate always about Robertson at the moment, it seems to be a raging debate. Gives the penalty away that gets them back into it. But Virgil starts the bad move. Debatable whether it was a penalty or not, but overall his performance wasn't great. Szoboszlai gets the goal. I mean, I didn't see anyone get above 6 out of 10 for me. What was your thoughts?
I agree. I think it was a very lackadaisical kind of performances from most of the team, apart from like the last 20 minutes when Salah just thought, I'm winning this game from the club.
Yes.
Salah just decided, we are not losing this game today. We are winning this league.
Just before you go into that, you know what? Honest to God, I swear to you guys, I should have recorded it. I turned around before he got the goal and the penalty, just prior 5-10 minutes, right? You know, in a game, like as you guys said, nothing happening. Everyone lacks daisical. Everyone just passing sideways. Curtis Jones at his absolute worst in that scenario. You know, right, really not doing anything with the ball. And Slot alluded to it. Nunes ineffective. Gakpo is quietest game for ages. You know, and everyone else poor as well. Mohamed Salah, I could visibly see him just like, I'm gonna take over here. It was like the build-up, like I could see him about to go. I said to my mate, I said, yo, Mohamed Salah's decided, and I tweeted it at that time, about 5 minutes before he scored. Mohamed Salah has decided he's going to win this game. When you've got that X factor, it goes back to the contract. Give him what he wants. Give him what he wants, because that's what he does, right?
Now you're spot on. It's big facts because you could see him just charging up. And as soon as we went 2-1, Southampton went 2-1, it was like Salah was like, yeah, screw that. This is not happening on my watch. But like in terms of the game itself, yeah, history tells me like what last time we won the league, there was many games and we won the league obviously, and we won it quite convincingly. But there was a lot of games in that run-in where we didn't perform that well. I remember the Aston Villa game when we was losing 1-0, we came back with 2 late goals and we won 2-1. I remember there was one game against Brighton when we got a player sent off and we ended up winning that 2-1. It was very, very tight. This happens. It's a season. It's the Premier League. It's what the world's most difficult competition, and also it's Arne Slot. We're still in a transition. I think people seem to forget that. Yeah. This is still like the building blocks. We're only getting started. I know we're 8 points ahead of at the top of the league, but this is only the beginning. We just got a manager in only 3 months ago, and I think that he is starting to learn, as Cav mentioned earlier in regards to dropping the South American lads. But this is the 3rd international break after the international break that we've played the game, and all 3 of the performances were terrible. Obviously, we lost to Nottingham Forest. We were diabolical against Chelsea, to be fair. It was a really bad performance against Chelsea. Maybe not as bad as yesterday, but yesterday's was bad as well. And I think so far, maybe those 3 have been our worst performances after the international break. But also, I think there's an element within the players in their mindsets, like, we can just take this easy. Let's not get injured. Let's not get hurt because we've got 2 massive games coming up. I think, for example, when after the counter attack from the corner and Tyler Dibling was running after the ball and then Szoboszlai was after him, if we were playing West Ham next week and we never had a midweek game, I honestly think Szoboszlai just takes them out and clears them, takes the yellow. Why did he? I don't understand why Szoboszlai just let him turn him so easily. And then I don't know what happened, the brain fart moments when all 3 of our players just rushed towards Armstrong.
One way.
All 3 of them, mainly Connor Bradley, because he was coming from this side, all ran Armstrong and just left Fernandes by himself. Like, what's going on? And why is Kelleher not talking? I think that's my only issue that I have with Kelleher. I think he's not as vocal as I want my goalkeeper to be vocal, very loud. I want him to be because he can see the whole pitch. I don't understand where Kelleher was at that position. I don't know why he's not screaming at Connor Bradley or someone saying Fernandes. Why are you not screaming? There's the target man. I understand where it keeps coming from in regards to Virgil not sprinting back. That's also diabolical. There's just so many brain fart moments from those goals. But I think in terms of those goals, they are easily manageable. Do you see where I'm coming from? Like, I think the penalty obviously wasn't a penalty, but I think we got lucky in the second half because Armstrong should have 100% got a penalty in the second half, and that could have been 3-1, and we could be having a completely different conversation right now. Because
which one? I missed this one.
The Kelleher one.
The Kelleher one.
Yeah, it was straight in, right?
Yeah, his shit.
It's mad. It's mad because we had a similar one with Chelsea and Curtis Jones, and that time the keeper got the ball, but Kelleher didn't get the ball.
Kelleher didn't get the ball.
But again,
I don't know how we got away with that. That's why in my mind, I know that the Robertson one in the first half probably wasn't a penalty, but we got away with it. Even bigger one in the second half.
I don't recall that at the game.
Yeah, I'm even a bigger one in the second half, so I'm calm with that. And then in terms of the second goal with the counter attack, if that was, as I said earlier, if we were playing Manchester City next week and Real Madrid midweek, and we're not scared about getting yellow cards and getting injuries, I think Szoboszlai takes out that man, and we've got Ali in goal and he's screaming at, say it's Trent or Robertson or whoever it is saying this Fernandes. I think we stopped that incident as well. I think in terms of we didn't really concede too many clear-cut chances.
No, we didn't. Yeah,
we didn't. So that's
why there's a stat going around that in the period from in the second half. Yeah, they don't touch the ball in our half.
They don't touch the ball. I don't think they touch the ball at all from the point where Salah scores to the penalty.
Mad.
From goal 2 to 3.
Well, they handled it, which was quite nice. Handled it,
from kickoff. But when we get the ball back, from that time period, if someone could just check how many minutes is in between Salah's first goal and the second goal, they don't get the ball. They don't touch it.
We obviously make the changes to get the goal. Zaman and Lucho comes on, McAllister comes on. I thought his McAllister looked bright. I mean, I don't know how you like saw it on the screens, how it was at home. I thought McAllister really showed glimpses of his old self, and Diaz made a difference. Was you confident once we brought it back to 2-2? Was you confident that we're going to go and get the winner? We had to. Or was you thinking, really? Are we really going to drop points to the bottom team after watching Spurs spank City 4-0? What was your
you know
feeling?
what? Do you know what? Every time I watch Liverpool, and we don't make it easy for ourselves, and I've accepted that. I've accepted that as a fan. I was watching it with my dad, and I was saying to him, like, because Salah scored with a fair amount of time on the clock, I thought, right, he's up for it. Grab the ball, running back. Okay, we've got something here. It was like Brighton. You remember that spell against Brighton?
Yeah.
When the ball just felt like it was being sucked into that. I know it was at Anfield, and I know we had that factor. But here I felt the same. And like what Mohamed was saying about Salah's, like, yeah, if this, I'm taking this. So you felt that. So I did feel that. Once we got the equalizer, I thought, right, we're going to go at them. And yeah, I think McAllister, when he came on, was bright, was good. Diaz again gave him something to think about, and again Diaz off the bench, insane to have a guy with the form that he's on in this season, with the ability that he has, bringing him on. I mean, as a defender who's been running around for 70+ minutes, you're like flipping it. Okay, what the hell do I do here? But really, just a quick thing on everyone else. I think Szoboszlai, I'm glad he got his goal for confidence. I think he needed that
it
massively. Bradley, I think, struggled. Was okay, sort of, receiving the ball.
First start since March, apparently. First start since March.
And that's explainable. That's explainable. And I think, and again, look, he's a younger player. We know what he can bring. But I think, yeah, and obviously at times when he got sucked towards the ball, those three, I was screaming at the TV. Oh my God, literally those three there, I was just screaming, because at that point you're like, you can just see that pass happening. You can just see it. But again, this team didn't make it easy, but we pulled it out of the bag in the end. And like you said, we're going to have those kind of games. We really are. The rest of the season, let's not expect it to be easy.
No, it's not. It's not going to be easy. And look, we've done the job. We got the job done somehow, somewhere. Call it mentality giants reborn. Call it what you want, but we got it done. We now have an 8-point lead, lads, and we have a small matter of Real Madrid on the horizon before that. Cav, what's your mindset in terms of the two games and in terms of team selection and strength? We have to rotate. I don't think we can play the same team 3 games in 7 days. Absolutely not. How would you go about dealing with the 2 games and in terms of importance and relevance right now? What's the top of your mind?
Man City is more important for me, definitely. We have a chance at this league. We've got an 8-point lead. Man City dropping points, 5 losses on the bounce, 3 in the league. It's opening up for us to go and take this title. We just have to continue doing what we've been doing and getting results. Keep everybody fit, rotate, and all these kinds of things, and it will take us to a league title. I don't think that can be sniffed at. We've got a little bit of leeway in the Champions League. If we lose to Real Madrid, you don't want it, but you can recover. I think we can put the nail in the coffin against Man City, and I think it's an opportunity we're not going to get for the rest of the season. So they're in terrible form. We're in good form despite not great performance against Southampton. Rotate as much as you need to, Slot, and just make sure we get that win against Man City, and let's just cruise. Because if you lose to Real Madrid but you beat Man City, after the Man City game, we'll forget about Real Madrid. We'll forget about it. We will not care at all. We know we've got enough games to get through in that Champions League format. We'll be 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League. We'll be bouncing. Whereas if we lose the tie against Real Madrid, heaps a bit of pressure on against Man City and all these kinds of things, But yeah, Man City is certainly most important for me. Rotate, but cautious rotation, because we still want to have a strong enough side that can go out and beat both of these teams, which I think we're capable of, by the way.
Mohamed's got, I think, a slightly opposite, because you responded to my tweet. So go and give us your thinking in theory.
Thank Cav, how you could just say if we lose to Real Madrid, it is what it is. No way.
Yes.
Whatsoever.
The premise that we beat Man City, absolutely fine.
I know. For me, yeah, of course, Man City, I hope we win. Like, yeah, it's massive. The Real Madrid game, in my eyes, is also massive. We have to smash these guys. We have to terrorize these guys. Look.
Wait, let's get everyone's opinion. Hold on.
14-15 season when Suarez left us and we had that team was just awful. Balotelli and that. They came rocked up and they terrorized us. We rotated in the second game. They beat us. 17-18, Ramos injured Salah. The 21-22 season, we were the better team. We lost the final. Even the other season, during lockdown 2021 season, we lost that game as well. Real Madrid, we owe them one. But this is Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world, coming to Anfield.
The biggest club.
Come to our home. And maybe I'm being a bit greedy because I'm going to be there myself. So I want to see the best team on the pitch. I want to see everyone who's available playing. So when we say rotation, how are you going to tell Mohamed Salah, you're sitting on the bench against Real Madrid in the Champions League, you're not playing? Oh, actually, Virg, take a rest. Quanta's going to play instead at Anfield. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. McAllister, take a little seat. World Cup winner McAllister? Yeah, take a seat, bro. You don't have to play this game. We have to play our strongest team. Every single one of them has to play. Beat them, get that momentum, rocking into Manchester City, and then we beat them again. This could go down as one of the best weeks in Liverpool Football Club's history this week, and it starts on Wednesday against Real Madrid.
Yeah, but this is that was beautiful and emotional. I'm not trying to have best weeks. I'm trying to win a title at the end of the season. I'm AI Slot. I'm not on Klopp emotion anymore. I'm on cold robotic Slot.
Hold on. You used to have had your say Zaman and Keith to go. Zaman, where are you in this dilemma, or is it a dilemma for you?
Look, it's not a dilemma for me in the sense that, if someone said to me, City, you're guaranteed to win, you lose to Real Madrid, I'll be like, okay, I'll take it. But the emotional side of me is like looking at what Salah's doing. Salah wants this, by the way. Let's not get it twisted. Salah, Real Madrid, he wants this because of what happened, in that game a long time ago. He wants this. He wants this revenge. And I'll be honest, most Liverpool fans want this revenge as well. I agree with what Cav's saying. You would take, if a loss against Madrid, and a win against City, if that's what's guaranteed. But at the end of the day, this team, in the form that it's in at the moment, let's just have at it. Let's just go slug for slug. Let's go for them. And I think apparently, they've got a few key players out. I think there was a super chat inside on YouTube. They've got a few key players out. Why not? This might be the best time to go for them. Vinny, Rodrigo, Tchouaméni, Militao, Carvajal, Alaba, all out for the Liverpool game. So again, I don't know how many of them are going to be 100% confirmed. But I think we slug it out.
They're all out.
All out. Hey, roll down that, man. It's fine. More and
just slug it out. Hit them with everything we've got.
Okay.
And then hit City with confidence.
All right. So Zaman and Mohammed have come with the emotional, let's keep going strong. Okay, Keith, you go and then I'll give my opinion on it as well.
I'll say one thing. I hope we clip that up, Mohammed, and play it in the changing rooms before the game, bro, because the man felt that passion radiate through the screen. That was amazing. And with it convinced me, because I thought it was very interesting arguments by both Cav and Mohammed, but the way you dropped it is so true. The thing is this could very well potentially be one of the best weeks and banish a few demons in the process, because the problem with this team has been that we've lost to Real Madrid in every single version that we've seen Liverpool Football Club over the years. Like the early Klopp years, we lost to them. Yeah. Then when we were like doing absolute madness in terms of like record number of points, etc., we lost to them. Then we lose to them during COVID. I believe we drew them in the quarterfinals and they knocked us out. So again, killed us that time as well. I remember we were playing like Reece Williams in that Philip time? Those times, yeah. And then this iteration of players have also been humbled by Real Madrid, because let's not forget what happened 3 years ago in the two-legged tie when they knocked us out, when Darwin Núñez scored that back heel, and it went all to shit from there, and then we just absolutely shut the bed at the Bernabeu. So all these iterations, this is the perfect time for this current crop of players to get their revenge and banish that demon. And that's a big demon to banish, because if they banish that demon, all of a sudden you've got the Manchester City demon. And the Manchester City demon exists because we got record points and we still couldn't win the league. And they're at their worst. So we can literally put the stake to the vampire once and for all on that Sunday. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a big week to banish a lot of demons.
And Keith, just to add, imagine the confidence it gives those players rocking into that Manchester City game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I?
Us back to 2009 when we played against Real Madrid and Manchester United in the same week. To this day, we talk about that week. We smashed.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
We went away something in the title race and beat them 4-1. The 10 a week. Remember that's
okay.
That we need now. And
unfortunately, I'm going to give you some cold-blooded, hard facts, Mohammed. I remember that week very, very well. Can I ask you what we won at the end?
We won nothing. We won nothing.
Right.
We won nothing.
So I'm not asking you. We're not asking. Do we want to lose to Real Madrid? That wasn't my question. My question to all of you was, do you slightly rotate or do you rotate the team? None of you, only Cav, gave me an answer in terms of the question. The rest of you gave me impassionate. Please, hold on. Let me say my say and then I'll ask again. I couldn't give two shits about the revenge right now, brothers. I couldn't give two shits about beating Madrid and getting one over them because without half the team, they won't give a shit if we beat them, lose them, whatever. Unless the only way I would give a shit is if we beat them and they're confirmed out.
No,
then we're eliminating the best team in world football.
Chris, my point is not that. My point is what I'm saying is if we get beat by Real Madrid, say we get beat 3-0 at home to Real Madrid, where's our confidence going into that Manchester City game? That's me. If you want me to answer if you want me to answer your question in regards to
your team could be strong. Your team could be strong and get 3-0. You've just said, Keith's just talked about when we were at our best, we got bust up by them. So
we wasn't at our best. We have not played this team at our best. Every single iteration, as Keith was saying, that was the worst version of Liverpool Football Club.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. In the Champions League final, we were the best team in the world.
Apart from that one time, that Champions League final, 14-15, we was crap. 17-18 was just the beginning of Jurgen Klopp, and our best player got injured by Ramos purposefully. 2020-2021 season when we lost to them at the what's it called? In the Bernabeu, but it wasn't the Bernabeu, it was their training ground or whatever, and then there was no at home, and then the Nunes back heel.
Okay, so you're playing everyone. Hold on. So you're playlaying your strongest lineup.
Kelleher's in goal.
No, just say strongest. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. Kelleher, Bradley, and then if Alisson and Trent are ready, they play on Sunday. So Kelleher, Bradley, Van Dijk.
You're throwing them into Sunday without any.
Because Alisson and Trent have been injured.
But you're throwing them into Sunday without any warm up.
No, give them 15 minutes. Let me land. Let me finish. Kelleher, Trent. Well, obviously you can't. Kelleher, Bradley, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Salah, Nunes, and then Diaz. That's my team. And then if Trent's ready to come off the bench, bring him on for like the last 15-20 minutes, and then he can start against City. And if Alisson,
let's say
off the bench, so you
I'm going to ask you a question. Let's say we beat Real Madrid 2-0, but Mohamed Salah pulls up with a hamstring injury and misses Sunday.
Inshallah, that never happens. It could, okay, but imagine, all right, on the flip side of that, imagine we've rested Salah, and then in the first minutes against City, he pulls his hamstring. You can't do if-buts with these kind of things.
Does it in training.
We can't do that.
Okay, so Kev, you're rotating. I know you're rotating. How many are you rotating? Have you got a team in mind? Let's finish it off.
I would.
Okay, is there anyone out of the big boys that you'd keep for City, basically? All of you, same question. So think about it.
See, I can't get into this without explaining. Let me just put it this way: I'm not playing Nunes against City. I'm playing Diaz up front.
Okay, so you're playing Nunes.
So I'm playing Nunes.
No, go for it. No, go for it. That's an interesting shout. Go for it.
I believe that we need Diaz up front against City. I think he'll exploit the pockets better. I think his hold up will be better, and I just think overall he'll be much more of an intelligent presser, and I think we're going to need that intelligence and ball control against City. Nunes' work rate and everything, I hear that, but I think it's going to be more of a tactical affair, and I don't think they're going to counter in transition, get us on transition as much where we need that recovery from our forward. So I would play Nunes in this tie, but technically I'm resting either Gakpo or Diaz either for the Man City game. I'd keep Virgil in there. I think that's important, and I think he can get through the minutes. I'd like to rest McAllister because I still think he needs that extra bit of time. Give him some few minutes at the end of the game. Keep him as fit as you possibly can for Man City, or help him get fitter for Man City, because I think he's played a lot of minutes recently. If Trent's back, I'm still keeping him off and keeping Bradley in, so I'm resting him for the game. I'm happy to throw him in against Man City, even though he's coming back from an injury. That's fine with me. Hopefully Simi comes back, but if he comes back, I want to see Simi against Man City, and I'm playing Robertson again against Real Madrid.
Okay, Keith, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you going full strength? Don't give a shit, or are you resting anyone? Now it's time to pick your team, brother. No sitting on a fence.
Okay, for sure. I think Kelleher will start. I think you definitely go with Virgil Konate as the centre backs, and if Trent is fit and ready to go, throw him straight back into this game. I think on the other side with the left back situation is interesting. I don't know how big Tsimikas' injury is.
Let's say it's minor. Let's say he's both fit.
Tsimikas will
both fit.
Tsimikas should play as he has.
That means you're playing Robertson on Sunday, or are you playing Tsimikas?
I'm keeping Tsimikas in the side.
Okay.
In terms of the midfield three, I think McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and see, now this is interesting when you got Dominic Szoboszlai, who I think will play and I think will cause him a lot of problems. I like Cav's idea of trying to once again go with this Diaz through the middle, because I think it was like quietly effective. I think the last game we played before Southampton, I thought it worked really, really well, and it'd be interesting to see if it works well again against Real Madrid. So you almost teased me with that one, and you go Gakpo left and Salah on the right. It would be a good game to test it, because I think if it works and it works well, then that's what you play on against City as well. You keep that.
So you're dropping Nunes for both. You're not starting Nunes in either.
So I'm not starting Nunes in either. No, this 11 that plays against Real Madrid, I've just said should play against City.
Why is he at our club? Why have we got an 80 million pound striker and no one rates him and trusts him? This is mad. Okay.
Sorry.
And the other thing, you're basically resting Curtis Jones for Sunday, or are you not playing Curtis Jones Sunday either? Because you haven't picked him in your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, Curtis Jones, no, not for Sunday
or tomorrow. Real Madrid.
Yeah, or tomorrow. I think
so. You're just focusing on both, basically full strength.
Yeah, full strength both. That's my preferred full strength team to go into both games.
Oh shit!
So I'm done. Yeah, so I'm not going to be on for the pre-match because I've just given you my team.
Zaman, what are you doing, bro? Are you going full strength both teams? This is mad. I'm shocked at you lot, man. This is madness. What you lot doing?
Look, I get it. I get it, Grizz, but it's like
I'm shocked at you lot. You're not going to get a shock of your lives when you see the lineup. That's what I'm saying.
But look, I get it. I think,
and I'm always right. You know, I'm always right.
I think there will be rotation. I don't think it will be. I think Salah plays. I don't think he sits. Not at all. I think if
not after the statement he made. Oh my God! Can you imagine the headlines?
This is what I'm saying. That guy wants it. We know that. Let's park him to one side. That's solid. That's happening in terms of he wants it. He wants those headlines. Imagine, that will send the whole world into a frenzy. Anyway, Trent, I think if he is fit, I think he goes in. So just from the back, Kelleher, Trent. I actually agree with Keith in the sense that I think Tsimikas to go in. If
and Sunday?
Yes. Okay. Now, listen, hear me out. So Trent, Van Dijk, Konate, the only thing is obviously the minutes to get when he played with France. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. But he's a big boy. He can handle it. So Van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas. Huh?
I'd rest Konate.
I'd rest Konate. 100,000,000% I would rest Konate. That's just me, and obviously Cav. But anyway, go on. Keith would.
No. If that happens, I wouldn't be surprised. But if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised. And then the middle, I'm looking at Grav, Sobo, and I feel McAllister might start as well. I just have a funny feeling. And then that again, look, it's always a consideration. But
I'm just screamed when he went down against Southampton. I swear to God, I leapt off the sofa.
He did.
When he went there, I swear to God, I
know.
was ready to erase Lallana from my memory. I was so done with him, right?
I know. And then he got up, and started hobbling, and I was like, all right, he's okay. And then finally, I think Nunes starts. I don't think he sits. I don't think he sits this one out. I think Nunes starts. Salah, as I've said, and I think he puts Diaz in. And then takes him off.
Zaman, this is not Slot's. This is your decision. Stop sitting on the fence saying, "Oh, I think Slot."
Hey, you gotta allow me one episode. Yeah, I've never sat on the fence.
No, you have to decide. What are you doing?
Okay, me.
Bearing in mind Sunday.
Me personally, I put Gakpo
you look ducking it.
Me personally, I put Gakpo in, not Diaz, because I want Diaz for Sunday. Personally,
okay. And
but
are you
Diaz
doing Nunes? Are you doing Nunes both
for a little run? For me,
are you doing Nunes both?
No. I think Nunes will come on against City latter stages. I don't think he starts. I think it's a Diaz, Salah,
Gakpo, and Salah.
Yeah. But I think I put Gakpo in, and then Diaz to come on a little bit later as well to cause a little bit of problems.
And you're leaving out Curtis Jones as well.
Yes, for Sunday.
Oh, you're bringing him Sunday.
I think so. He knows City. He plays well.
Who are you keeping out of the midfield then on Sunday? Well, there's a hard decision. You can't just say, "Yeah, I'll do that," but not give me the one you're going to leave out.
No, I agree.
The maths ain't mathing, brother.
City midfield is weak at the moment. Gundogan's
I'm going to come to your team. Don't worry.
Morton's still there, just.
I think.
Endo, none of you are playing Endo tomorrow.
You want to play a League Cup team, Cav? You want to play a League Cup team, innit?
I want this Premier League, brothers. I want this Premier League above anything.
Yeah, I'm with you, Grizz. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there. Yeah,
no, I agree. I agree with that.
If we go 11 points clear, if we go and attack Man City and have the energy levels of Spurs, because anyhow we pick up any injuries and we're fatigued and we don't capitalize on this Man City team or the state we're in, we're never gonna have a better chance of winning the league in this period. We can trust me. We can't. People say you can't win it in December or November. Yeah. I genuinely think we beat Man City and avoid defeat Newcastle and Everton away. I think the league's title is ours.
Chill.
I genuinely believe that.
What happened to Ninjas?
That's how much I want City, and you're talking about Madrid in a meaningless game. It's a group game, Mohammed. No, the Madrid game is nothing. It's nothing. There's no qualification. There's no semi-final. It's not a knockout game.
It's a group. It's the group stage.
Please let me just land. I know nothing happens. If we beat Real Madrid don't get knocked out. We don't win the Champions League. It doesn't mean nothing.
You just get happy. Why do you want to be happy?
Where I am coming from, it's not even about my happiness. It's not. I don't give a shit about my happiness. I care about my.
You're gonna feel so happy.
All I care about is me standing on top of with the Premier League, with a minimum of a Premier League. That's all I care about. But what I'm saying is, on Sunday is a massive game, the biggest game in our history. That's the way I can see it. The biggest game in our history. However, if we lose to Real Madrid on Wednesday, I'm just thinking, will that be a confidence knock for the players? That's what I want us. I want us. Why would it not be? Because does that not knock our little bit of confidence? We're going to think, we've lost to them, or we could imagine anything can happen. I'm just saying, if we beat Real Madrid, build that confidence. Imagine us how we're going to feel on Wednesday night after we beat Real Madrid at Anfield. Let it be 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
I get that. I agree with that.
Imagine how I am going to be shaken. I don't think I'll be able to sleep until Sunday, 4 o'clock. My eyes will be wide open like this until 4 o'clock on Sunday. And then the bus is coming down Anfield Road. We're smashing that City bus. And then the game kicks off and the noise, oh my God, the roar of Anfield after that massive result the other day against Real Madrid. That's the confidence we need. However, on the flip of that, we've lost to Real Madrid because we wanted to rotate. And let's bear in mind, one thing that we learned about Arne Slot, one of the main things that we learned about him, he doesn't rotate. So I don't know why we even have this conversation. He's going to play his best team against Real Madrid on Wednesday. And then, inshallah, everyone's going to be perfectly fine. Everyone's going to be perfectly normal. And then with that confidence and that belief, we're going to put that I'm not going to say the final nail in the coffin because ninjas, Grizz, you're the one who taught me this.
Inshallah, brother. That's it.
On Sunday, we're going to rock up to Manchester City and we're going to do our thing and we're going to be 11 points clear and we're going to be sitting on 15 points in the Champions League. Let's go.
Keith, you wanted to say something?
See, man, what you're talking about is that there might be a bit of a dip in, the players' confidence, but according to Cav, it's going to be the confidence of Tyler Morton and Endo. So they're not going to play on Sunday anyway. So
we'll have something to Could Elliot see something?
Oh no! Shout out Endo though. Do you know that little run and spin that he did?
Cameo.
Endo has honestly been class. Honestly, I love him, man.
No, I love him, but class is a bit too much. I love him.
As in for what he's there to do, Grizz.
No, he's a classy guy. Yeah,
he's a classy guy, and he's doing what he's supposed to do.
He's a classy guy.
It's like Minamino. We love the guy.
Good comparison.
I think the Man City game is the emotion of the crowd and the momentum's great, but Man City haven't got any, and it always ends up being a tactical affair anyway. So this ain't a clock team that's going into this with like the Raw of Anfield and everything. It's Slot. Like we'll have the Raw of Anfield in the first 10 seconds. Virgil van Dijk will put his foot over the ball and then control.
Calm everything down.
Control.
That's what Grizz does in FIFA, apparently.
We're not going to stop that crowd from singing and shouting. But Grizz, what's your team? Because you're the one with the big opinion on this. Let me hear your team for Wednesday.
Yeah, come on, mister.
I think it's Monday. It's too early to get the exact team right. But my serious analysis says.
Now, what would your team be, Grizz? Not what slots. What would your team?
My team? Yeah, I'm mad.
Let's hear
it. My team. You're gonna hate me, bro. You're not gonna message me.
Go on. Give us two realities. Go on.
I'm picking.
Yaros and goal.
No, Kelleher. Because Alisson's back, so Kelleher or Alisson. I might pick Alisson actually, get some rhythm going. In fact, I'd throw Alisson for the rhythm for thing. Even though that's a hard decision, by the way, that's another debate, guys. Kelleher. Wow, Kelleher. Right, I'm picking Bradley right back. I'm picking Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and I'm picking Tsimikas because I want Robertson Sunday. Controversial, I know. Whatever, Tsimikas has been the better player. I just want Robertson's experience and everything on Sunday. Leadership. Sorry, Robertson haters. I know the pendulum swings so much with the Liverpool fan base. They're like, 1 minute he's our hero, 1 minute he's finished. There's an in-between somewhere. He had a bad game. Inadvertently, he could have a very good game because that's what invariably good players do. They have a bad game. They know they've had a bad game and they rock up and have a good game. In midfield, I'm telling you, man, I want my mean machine, fit, robust, energetic monsters on Sunday. I don't want them injured by a Shumeni tackle in the first minute where Shumeni's trying to prove a point or Camavinga scissor tackle on one of my grabbing. But I'm not risking shit. This ain't a knockout game. This ain't a quarterfinal. This ain't a semi-final. This is a needless semi-final. Endo is there. Endo. Curtis Jones. Endo, Curtis Jones.
Endo become a finger. I can't.
That was the League Cup. This is the League Cup team.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
UCL.
Endo, Curtis Jones, Sabozalai, Elliot. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Mohammed, come back.
Hey, I was about to go, man.
Salah, Nunes, Gakpo, because I want Diaz. Yeah, playing.
Diaz comes to get some minutes, though, right?
Your team is very, very strong. You know, we're very blessed, you know. We've got a very, very strong squad.
This is my point.
Yeah. Take Endo out.
Chiesa was fit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Chiesa.
If Chiesa was fit, he'd be starting this game. I can't wait. And I mean, you got Jota as well. Honestly, I can't wait to see Chiesa if he can just get back. I can't.
Dinesh sends in a super chat as we finish up now, guys. Liverpool are going to finish top 8 in the Champions League, winning against Real, not important. Liverpool will pick 2 wins in the So basically, he's saying we only need 2 wins out of the last 4 games.
Yeah, you know, flip of that, Dinesh, we beat Real Madrid now. We're chilling, and then when we play Girona,
the last 2-3 games,
the kids.
No,
Literally.
there's that as well. Look, look
mean?
on a serious level, Slot won't rotate that much. I agree with Mohamed. I'm just winding him up. I do think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna make two possible, maximum 3 changes. 2, I think, would make. I think one of the fullbacks may change if Tsimikas is fit again, and I think one of the midfielders will change, and one of the attackers. I think three. Basically, one change in each position, like midfield, defense, and attack. I think there will be one change.
Anyway, McAllister and Diaz, they're going to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your two. There's your two.
There's your 2. Yeah, and then Tsimikas or Robbo.
Exactly.
I would rest Konate. I think he looked a bit
leggy.
Maybe that's the word.
Yeah, it's leggy.
He looked magnificent.
Yeah, I think it was not one of his greatest performances.
You know he's leggy because he's pushing players, whereas usually he runs back.
He knocked that big guy. Like he knocked him. He was like, get lost.
I think.
In that with Konate, you can always tell with the first 5 minutes of the game with Konate, you're going to get that game. Because sometimes he'll just mistime that tackle. His way he defends is so aggressive that if he gets it wrong, it looks terrible. Like he looks like he plays people out. Or he just misses the ball when he gets done. He got done a few times against Saints.
But look, either way, we're back in the big time.
What week?
We are back in the big time. We are back in the big time where every game is a must. Realistically, it is. I absolutely hear what Mohamed's saying. Imagine the bounce and the energy and the furnace that will be Anfield on Sunday if we turn over Madrid, the mighty Madrid, with Mbappe and Cole coming up, and then Man City going possibly, God willing, possibly 11 points clear at the start of December. We will discuss what that means if we go. Worst case scenario, guys, we will be 5 points clear. Worst case scenario, right? Or we will be worst case scenario 11 points clear. So it is what it is. We will talk.
You can unmute.
Yeah, you need to come back. Yeah, press it again. Oh, there you
go. We will talk about that when the time is right. Right now, it's time to focus on Madrid. Yeah, man. Thank you very much, guys, joining us. Mohamed Salah, contract talks. Are you doing a trick before you go? Go on.
You want one? Quick one?
Go on. Yeah, go on. Let's do it.
Boys, very quick question. Just go, everyone think of a card. You got it in your head? Grizz, you're going to pick someone, one of the guys, any one of them. Go.
Mohamed, he deserves it after his speech.
Mohamed, the card that you're thinking of, it could have been anything, right? Cav's got a different one. Keith's got a different one. Name the card that you're thinking of.
6 of diamonds.
Do you want to change it?
No.
You can if you want.
No, I'll stick with it.
6 of diamonds, yeah?
Yeah.
Before I came here, I did one thing. And before I started, I left one card upside down in the whole pack.
Nah. Oh, nah, that's mad. Whoa,
that's mad.
Should have said 7 to be honest.
Oh, no, what? Your man's gone.
People. Zaman, can you tell everyone your Instagram? In fact, put in the chat now. Put your details in the chat.
Hey, I'll follow you.
Now forget that. Tell me what tomorrow's scores are going to be. Tell us what's going to happen Wednesday.
Cav, shall I tell you the best one, Cav? Cav, shall I tell you the best one? So we done a launch of my friend's rival Tears the Water, Big Steve, Man City fan. And he's brought out a brand of water called Rivals Tears, right? And Zaman was at the launch party with me. And you know, Expressions, the Spurs fan, he goes, I'll do anything if you can get Spurs a trophy. That was the best request and the biggest request he's got. But yeah, man, listen, people, make sure you're following Zaman.
I'll get Instagram in the chat.
Check him out on Instagram. Any inquiries, email him. You know what I mean? He's magic. He literally is. Let's hope Liverpool are magic, people. Let's hope Liverpool are magic. Yeah, man, because we didn't expect these people. I don't care what anyone says. Even the most toppers of toppers Reds, and Keith Cross, I'm looking at you. No one envisaged this kind of level of Liverpool. We are we are good again, and every game counts. People, this has been Red Fellas on a Monday night. We still haven't worked out what night we're going to go regularly, but it's been fantastic chatting to you guys, and it's been fantastic chatting to the chat. Peace, love, tranquility.
Thank you, boys.